G'day there. I wanted to talk to you today about fake meat. I don't know whether you've seen it where you live, but here where I live in the supermarkets, it's everywhere. I was in a supermarket just this morning and I went to have a look at the fake meat and discovered that it had a stand, a display unit that occupied more space than good old Aussie beef. This stuff is everywhere and it's just going to get more and more prolific. I've never really looked at it much, I've never been really interested, but this morning I picked up a packet. I picked up this packet here. This is V2 food and it tells me that it's plant-based. It also tells me that it's high in fibre. It also tells me it's high in protein and fibre. And down the bottom, if I look at the three circles, I'll tell you what they say. The first circle says it's good for me and it's nutritious. The second circle says it's easy to cook and it tastes great. And the third circle says it's animal-free and soy-based. There you go, you have it in one. If you turn over the back, you see the list of ingredients. I looked at the list of ingredients. Normally I need a magnifying glass, but I could just make this one out. It had no less than 28 ingredients. Many of these I couldn't even pronounce. But there was enough there of the ones I could pronounce and knew about for me to be concerned. Let me list some of the prominent ingredients to you. This pack contains soy oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, thickeners, starch, glutamic acid, sugar, and look, so the list goes on. Are these ingredients that you want to put into your body? Not only that, but all of these ingredients are somehow mixed together, not in a kitchen, but in a factory where they're adding all this chemical trash together to produce what they are calling plant-based meat. I didn't bring the plant-based meat home. Instead, I went to a free-range butcher shop and I bought this little piece of meat here. This is a ribeye steak. Do you know how many ingredients there is in the ribeye steak? No prizes for guessing, just one ingredient. There is not even an ingredient list on the label. All it does is tell me what farm it came from, when it was packed, and when we should eat it by. And then there's the price. If you want to know the price, $34.99 Australian dollars a kilo. That's the one I bought home. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about this fake meat because it's going to be seen everywhere. We're already seeing it and there's going to be more and more of it. I'll tell you why, because they have massive funding. Did you know that there has already been 10.3 billion US dollars invested in the production and marketing of this fake meat? They've got big money. Do you know why? Because they're owned and operated by big food that have almost an unlimited budget to poison people with. And that's the bottom line. Would it be any surprise to you for me to tell you that the Heart Foundation in America has already jumped on board and put their stamp on it? Not only the Heart Foundation, but also the Diabetic Association in America has jumped on and given their support to it. No surprise there at all, really, is there? So what do we know about this fake meat? There's three ways they can make it. They can make it with soy, as the one I showed you. They can make it with a fungus. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? They can grow it from a fungus. And the third way they can do it is to make it entirely in a laboratory. Imagine mixing up their chemicals in a test tube and serving it to you on a plate for your lunch. Are you really that stupid? Let me tell you some more things about this fake meat. Number one, it's low fat. Does that surprise you? You see, they're still pushing that Ansel Keys message, aren't they, about the low fat? And they've got this thing, low fat. This one here, very high in saturated fat. So there's the first contrast. Secondly, the fake meat is high in carbohydrates. The ribeye, 0 carbohydrates. The fake meat is very high in fibre. The ribeye, 0 fibre. The fake meat is nutrient poor. Very few nutrients in it, whereas this is the most nutritious food on the planet. The fake meats require extensive processing. If any food earns the label processed food, these fake meats do. They are extensively processed. They need large factories. They need huge ovens and furnaces and oils and processes to make this stuff. Look, do you really want to go that way? I don't think so. They make extensive use of seed oils, and we already know that seed oils are not fit for human consumption. They also are made in factories. They are also made from chemicals. They are not vegetable oil as they claim to be. They are a hideous concoction that is designed to kill you. It's that black and white. If you're going to cook, cook in fat, or lard, or tallow, or butter, all of the good, healthy, saturated fats. Never cook in seed oils. But there are some claims they make about the manufactured meat, the fake meat. The first thing is they tell us it's good for us. Is it really? They actually did a study in the United Kingdom recently, and they found out that vegetarians that eat this meat, 42% more likely to be depressed. They experienced much higher rates of inflammation. They had overall higher blood pressure, and they had lower HDL, what is sometimes called good cholesterol. That's the one you want to be high, your good cholesterol, HDL. So not really good for you at all, I don't think. You know who it is good for? It's good for big food, because they're going to make a lot of money. Why else would they put billions of dollars into this if they didn't see themselves making an absolute fortune like they have on other garbage products in our supermarket? Do you know who it's not good for? The farmers. The farmers who are in the field trying to produce decent food, particularly those that are embracing regenerative farming, it's not good for them at all. Matter of fact, if this fake food really caught on big time, we'd put the remaining farmers completely out of business, and then where would we be? So it's not good for people. The second thing they tell us is that fake meat is good for your wallet. In other words, it's going to be cheaper than other meat. I had a look this morning. As I said, this was $34.99 a kilo. I'm talking about top-end, high-end ribeye here. $34.99. You can get really good beef down as low as $20 a kilo in the butchers here in Australia. And if you look at the price of fake food, I could see none that came close to that. They were significantly dearer. One piece of fake meat there about the size of my palm was $17. Imagine that. I got this whole ribeye for $19. So I rest my case there. It's not good for your wallet. Eat genuine meat, real meat, produced by farmers. And overall, it's going to save you money, I can promise you that. Third thing they try and tell us is that fake meat is good for our planet. Give me a break. You mean they're having these enormous factories with their big smokestacks and all of their chemical concoctions? What did this one have? Something like 23 ingredients they're putting into this stuff. Half of them there, as I said before, I couldn't even pronounce the names. You see, never trust the way a corporation cooks. They cook far differently to the way you do at home. This is not good for the planet, especially when you compare this to regenerative farming. They're not really as green as they claim to be. Maybe their meat's green. Just stop and think what the production of all this stuff made out of chemicals, fungus, soy, and plant-based stuff that has got to be heavily processed, and you've got to add dozens of ingredients to it. Look, don't tell me that's good for the environment when we're going to lose our farms, and the poor old farmers trying to make a living selling us decent real food are going to go down the tube. That's sacrilege. So if your fake meat is not good for people, it's not good for your wallet, and it's not good for the environment, what is it good for? It's good to chuck in the trash. I wouldn't touch it. What should we eat instead? Real meat. Real meat, one ingredient. Eat real foods. Eat whole food. Eat food that only has one ingredient. Don't eat any food that comes in a box or a packet that has a barcode and a list of ingredients on it, because that's going to be garbage and that's going to poison you. But this war is just going to get more and more intense. The farmers that are trying to produce the real food are going to come in under increasing attack. These fake food companies with their unlimited budget are going to come with all their might, with their advertising, their political clout, their financial clout, to see if they can conquer the day, and we've got to make sure it never happens. So I don't care what you eat if you're listening to this video, so long as you're not eating fake meat. I'm a carnivore. I want real meat. I want one ingredient meat. I want meat that has come from farms, meat that has come from grass-fed and grass-finished cows. That's the food I want. I don't want any fake meat. So I encourage you to have a good look at this. Never support this industry. Never give them your money. There's too much at stake. You're more sensible than that. You've got more intelligence than to fall for the lies of big food and big pharma and all these things that we're battling with, trying to get people to eat real food. If you're in Australia and you would like a link for a company that is producing high quality meat and marketing it across Australia, they'll bring it to your door in a box, snap frozen, and it's recommended by Anthony Chafee. I would really recommend Stockman Steaks. If you use the link in the description of this video, you'll get 5% off. But look, have a look at their website. Sorry, this is only for Australia because that's where I'm based. If you're overseas, I'm sure you can find your own sources. But if you're in Australia, have a look at Stockman Steaks, have a look at their boxes of meat. It works out very economical. This is high-end, saturated fat, Australian beef. I think they have lamb and other cuts of beef too. They do special carnivore boxes. So look, check them out. Thanks for watching today. Please join my Facebook group, the Carnivore Pensioner. I will see you on the next video. And until then, eat meat and keep telling your story. God bless.